Okay, so let's start. Very good morning to all of you who have joined. So my name is Arjun. I'm here for my Google GCP demo. So this is about myself. I have around close to 8.7 years of experience, and from last 4 years, I'm working on Google Cloud. My experience is mainly on working on Google Cloud migration projects, where I will help the customers to migrate their data center to Google Cloud. So, I have worked on from the initial phase, like discovering the customer environment, and then we'll go for the assessment. After that, there will be a POC, which is proof of concept, and after that, getting the migration plan and the installation of migration tools, that is GCP migration tool, then migrating the work environment, and after that, post migration steps and all. And I am also having experience in working with the Google PSO, which is the Google all professional service team, which will help the team like us to migrate the workloads. And I have certifications on a GCP Associate Cloud Engineer and a Professional Cloud Architect. So this is more like I have prepared a slide more like of a GCP intro. It's not like a deep dive into GCP. So I will let you know what you can expect from this course and what are the things I will be covering in this course to help you. So as you can see, this is the cloud market. You can see AWS is having 32, Azure 19, and GCP 7%, and others include like IBM and other DigitalOcean and all. Those compare some 42%. So then next thing is why we need cloud computing is the people who are not who don't have any let's say who are new to the cloud background. So we'll make them understand why people are or companies are moving to cloud from their data center. So many reasons will be like implementation time. You can save more implementation time. No need of upfront investment. Then left side you can see and right side is a data center. So all time cost, degree of customization, then control of data security standards and all. So we'll be going through each of this during the course, like how can we save the implementation time while using cloud. So in this that short I can explain is like for example, if you want to provision 10 to 15 machines in the data center, it will take more time, right? So but in case of cloud we can achieve through automation, which is like in Terraform. If you use Terraform, we can like provision 10 to 15 machine within 2 to 3 minutes. So that we can achieve using Terraform. And there are also cloud specific automation tool, like for GCP we have Cloud Deployment Manager, and if you go for AWS then we have Cloud Formation, and for Azure we have ARM template. Why we are using Terraform and why Terraform is demand is like it is why if you know Terraform then we can use it in any other cloud. And the second one is upfront investment. It is like no need to invest so much of machines because we don't know what demand will be tomorrow. So based on that, no need to do any upfront investment, and we can save additional hardware cost, and we can always be go with the predictable amount of our machines and resources, and we can have customization also in our machines. And why what the difference between Google Cloud and other cloud services like AWS and Azure is like no upfront cost, and it can be scalable. And this is the main thing, like custom machine type that I'll show you. And even AWS has this IoT specific server, but Google Cloud is the one which came the first with the IoT specific and big data analytics and cloud AI. But in this course, we'll be mainly going through more on the infra side. So these are the regions and servers you can see. At present, the Google have 27 region, 82 zone, 146 location, and under 200 plus countries and territories. In India, we have Mumbai, That means in Mumbai region we have three zones, and recently, like last month, they have added a new zone also, that is Delhi. So we, no, we have added new region, Delhi, and with three additional zones. Okay, so compute, it is like your machines. It can be Linux or Windows VM. It is same as people who are familiar with other clouds like AWS. It is same as your EC2 customizable VM, which is one of the specific feature of the compute engine, and a VM running on worldwide fiber network. It is a Google fiber network, so your network will be faster when compared to other. And other services will be like Kubernetes, which is container workload, which is like if your workload is on Docker and all, then we can go with the container workload. And Cloud Function is more like event based, we can say. Then we'll have a networking services. So we have cloud load balancing, cloud CDN, where we use cloud CDN, cloud interconnect for faster connection. So cloud interconnect is mainly comes to picture, like I said during migration. For example, you have a data center and you are planning to migrate your all your data to Google Cloud. So how will you make the connection between uh, data center and Google Cloud? We can achieve through VPN, but let's say you have terabytes or petabytes of data. So in that case, we will be using cloud interconnect, and cloud DNS, as the name suggests, is for domain name services. And when it comes to the storage services, GCP having offering of Cloud SQL. So under Cloud SQL, there are two categories: Cloud MS SQL and PostgreSQL. And Bigtable is mainly of a big data kind of thing. So NoSQL database, like if you are on premise, if you are having some HBase or Hadoop based workload, then we will transfer the data to the Bigtable. And Cloud Data Store is more like document oriented DB. Let's say if you are developing a mobile application, and if you are looking for a database, then we can go with the Cloud Data Store. And persistent disk, is your actual persistent disk, which you'll actual disk which you will attach to a VM or the container storage. And these are the Google Cloud tools, like how are going to interact with the Google Cloud. So one is the web browser with the, then second one is SDK, which will install in your local machine, and we can interact. And other one is the Cloud Shell. So next we go to the course content, what I am going to cover. So we'll start with what is cloud computing, benefits, common cloud services, like what is the difference between in IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Then cost of ownership, like by financially how companies are getting benefited once they're moving into the cloud. So those things we will see here. And after that, we will go to the introduction of Google Cloud. So as I said, I showed you, right, like how many regions, how what region we will need to select while using a deployment. For example, if all the customers are in India, so we will be going with Delhi or Mumbai region, right? So it's like that. And data residency, it is something like it also comes like a data compliance. So it's more like how Google is handling different types of data. Let's say uh, tomorrow you are going to migrate a customer, but the customer is more of a health based, like say a hospital data and all. So that comes under HIPAA. So how Google is handling that HIPAA, that is a data compliance. And another one is like tomorrow you are going to migrate uh, a data of European customer. So for European, what components you are going to use? So that is GDPR. And then we'll go to the Google Cloud Services. This is like how Google Cloud architecture is defined, how what is organization, projects and folders, building account. Then we'll go to compute engine, like create. Yeah, any questions? Yeah, once I finish it, then we can have questions. So compute engine, then we'll go to the cloud storage, like creation of bucket, uploading files, deleting, transferring. Then we have cloud database. Then networking, we have VPC, subnets, firewalls, cloud interconnect, and cloud peering. And migration project is something like I want to make you understand what I have learned from my previous projects. So as I said, like I have experience on migration, so I want to make you understand what you can expect from the customer point of view, what the customer is expecting from you, uh, like from a point of a migration engineer. So you will be aware of what are the migration phases and what are the migration tools available in GCP market, migration walkthrough, and the steps involved in each phase of migration, and all. And so that's it. And for the labs and all, I am planning to make use of this QClab. For those who are not familiar with QClabs, it is more like GCP pre-built environment. We can have a monthly, we can take a monthly subscription of that. So let's say today we went through compute engine. So we will just type virtual, yeah, creating a virtual machine. I think it should work. I am not subscribed it. So yeah, so if you go to creating a virtual machine, then you will having a lab. So it will like 40 minutes. You just need to follow the instruction first. And so I'll be explaining each and everything, right? What is happening on each and every step. What is Cloud Shell and understanding regions. So this is Asia one. Okay, okay. And so this is like this lab is like you will create a compute engine, which is a virtual machine, and in that virtual machine, we are going to install an Nginx web server. And once you install the Nginx web server, then we will verify like whether you are able to access that web server based on that. What your so yeah, when it comes to so this is what I explained through what is the organization and projects and all. Okay, let's say tomorrow you're going to migrate all of the data of Visual Path to Google Cloud. So I just want to show you how the organization structure will be in Google Cloud. So first here you can see, right, no organization. So in that part there will be, it will be visualpath.com. So under organization we will be having various okay. So top will be your organization. So here will be your visualpath.com. So mouse is not working. So under organization we have different folders. In that folder, here will be let's say like in one folder you will be having development environment, another one will be having staging, then production. So under that mm, folder like development environment, you will be having specific projects. So under that projects, all your resources will be defined. So let's say this is a free trial account which got expired. That's why I'm not able to define any organization and folder. So let's say this is your visualpath.com, and let's imagine there is a folder there, and inside that folder there is development and quality, and we have other two organization. So let's say if you are going through this one, so here you can see all your resources are will be defined under here. So if you go here, you can see you have compute engine, cloud storage, file, everything is there. So if you go to the compute engine, so I can't create it right now. Can just show you. So this is how you will create a compute engine. This is your instance name, and why label is used, like for example, it is more like tags, like tags tag. Okay, let's say if you are provisioning a machine like 10 machines, and you want to filter 10 machines at least, I mean in one go. So how you will filter? For we can be filtering based on development environment and owner and all. So we can give like owner, who is the owner of this machine. Okay, caps are not allowed also. And to my next I can filter like what is the environment, of this machine. I can give like prod. What is the email? For example, tomorrow if something happens to a machine, some alert team got some, some monitoring team should got some alert, and they want to notify me, and they don't know how to, reach out to me, and they don't have any contact. So I can give my ID here. So based on that we can do here, and this is what I showed you about region. So in, see, this is the new zone which they have introduced in Mumbai and Delhi. So region, and you can see Asia South A, South 1, South B, C is there. And these are like a categorization of the machine, like, what are the series you'll be having: general purpose, compute optimized, and memory optimized machines. This is how you are going to choose your boot disk. Let's say in Debian, we'll be having these many distribution. And if you want to go to Ubuntu, then we are having, let's take some time. Yeah, Ubuntu, we are having these many. And if you want to go to Windows Server, so we are having these many windows. And persistent disk, which is our choice, like, minimum is I think 10 or 30. And allow default access, set access for each API. API is like how you are going to interact, it's not you, like how compute engine is going to interact with cloud storage, like how various GCP services will talk to each other. So here you can see, if you check our storage, we can give like, if we say like, full, then our machine can able to pull data, push data from the cloud storage bucket. And this is our firewall. And if you go here, so if you go to security, here you can define our SSH public key. If you are defining, say in a Linux machine, and here we can add additional disk, attach this, or if you're already having existing disk, you can plus and attach it. And here comes the networking part. So this is the default network, sub network, then IP forwarding, and after that, what we have. Sole tenancy is something like, you are like asking Google to have my machine in a specific hardware. Okay, so once it is done, then we can create, and the machine will be created. And apart from migration, I'll be walking you through like, how an enterprise, how a company will be onboarding to the Google Cloud. Let's say it start with a discussion, right? Like, once the deal is signed between customer and the Google Cloud and the third party, like the service provider, it can be, the service provider will be, uh, like our service based companies. So in any migration project, there will be, three part. First will be customer. Okay, second will be our service provider, or we can more like say service partner, and third will be vendor. So customer will be like, for example, we can say, uh, Bajaj is the customer and they want to migrate to Google Cloud. So, and service partner will be like Wipro, TCS, or CTS, or like the companies which are providing service. So these companies are like, gold partner, or partner of this cloud provider, and vendor will be GCP. So these three people will work together to, successfully onboard customer data to Google Cloud. So So like I said, once a deal is signed, there will be a customer onboarding, which is, we will educate the customer. We means GCP plus the service partner will educate the customer about the Google Cloud, because most of the customer won't be able to aware of, what is Google Cloud, what are the advantages, and how they are going to, make use of their environment and all. So let's say, there will be we will educate the customers on our cloud provider, and once everything is done, then the integration is doing, like how the AD is going to, and how the authentication will be handled in Google Cloud. For example, in your on-premise, you will be having, you will already will be having some AD setup, right? For example, already you're having an AD. Let's see, Active Directory, and tomorrow you're going to, let's say, you are going to migrate workloads into Google Cloud. So how we are going to do it? So first, what we will do? First, we will make a connection between Google Cloud and on-premise, so that we can achieve through Cloud Interconnect, which is like, physical link. And once Cloud Interconnect is done, then how we are going to integrate? Next thing is our AD, right? Uh, Before AD, we will actually, will design the landing zone and all. So once that is done, how we are going to integrate, transfer all the AD data into the Google Cloud. So for that also, there is a specific service in Google Cloud, which is GCDS, which is Google Cloud Directory Sync. So what it will do is, like, it will actually, sync everything which is in the on-premise to the Google Cloud. So this is like the more of like an initial setup. So once it is done, then we will identify the application or the machine which are going to migrate first. So once we will do the migration, and after that, if everything is done, then there will be, you know a SOW signing will be happening. So it is like, statement of work. So it is like, who is responsible for what? There will be three, like a customer will be responsible for providing the machine, and the service partner will be responsible for migrating the machine, and a vendor will be responsible for any support if we encounter any issue. So it is more like an agreement between, these three. So once that is done, then our migration will be we'll be initiating the migration and all. And after that, migration is done, then we'll go to the post steps. And once everything is done, then there will be, the normal operation, like a BAU kind of thing, will be happening on all the companies. So this is just, I just walk you through the what you can expect from this course, and what other services will be going through. So if you have any questions, then I'm happy to take.
Is this entirely GCP administration? Are you going to give it training?
It's more like just administration. I will say it's more like migration plus admin, I guess. Like if you
Okay,
compare with,
migration is
like yeah, like if you compare with, I mean, what I have experienced, like my friends are also in other clouds, right? Like in AWS and Azure and all, you will be finding profiles or, roles specific to administration, because it is like I said, right? uh, they are in cloud for a long time than GCP, and many customers are already there in GCP and Azure. But so as a result, they will be having many projects based on, GCP, I mean, administration, like daily base, like 5 to 9 to 5 job or shift based jobs and all. But in GCP, what I'm able to find is like it's more, profiles are focused on migration and landing zone, those kind of things. So
mhm.
these things and all, you will not find, I think, like, what are the migration phases, what you need to discuss with the customer. So these things I will give, like what I have experienced from my 2 3. I have done like two three, I mean, three full-on migration projects on GCP. So what you can expect from the
Is it
customer, what
complete?
customer will be asking you. Yeah.
In your training, is it include everything? I mean, the CI/CD pipelines. Are you going to explain?
No, DevOps side I have not worked. I'm more on the infra side. I worked.
Yeah. Only infra.
See, yeah, yeah. So infra will be like, how are you going to set up the connection between GCP and data center? It will be done by the Google itself. I mean, mostly, the service partner won't be involved on that steps. So you will be, I mean, what I will make you understand is like what question you will be asked to the customer. What are the things need to be take care when doing an application migration. What are the downtimes? What are the steps we need to follow on that. So it's more like, let's say, on a customer point of view, customer facing, I can say.
Okay, and one more thing. In BAU activities and daily activities, we are going to we get a chance to deploy the applications into the Google Cloud. Which method we will follow in Google Cloud?
Like, are you asking about the
We
lab
have
or?
with no in real time environment. I let's say we have a blueprint deployment. See, as an administrator, we have to deploy the applications into the cloud, right?
Okay, okay.
Correct?
Yeah, yeah. So that depends upon the workload, right? Like if you are, like if your application is, let's say, it's like more on microservices.
Yeah.
Okay, then Google will be having an application, not application, services like App Engine you can do.
Yeah.
Or so it depends upon the application. If your application is more focused on containers, then we'll be having GKE, which is Google Kubernetes Engine. We have Kubernetes Engine will be there. So based on the
You will cover
workload and the
GT.
application, yeah, GKE I can cover.
Okay.
So it's like more like you'll be getting an idea like what you can expect from the customer facing role. It's not like I'll explain what is compute engine, that you can get it from anywhere. Okay. And, so more like if what I have learned from my project experience that I can that I can show you.
Earlier, I have worked on PCF, Pivotal Cloud Foundry.
Sorry.
Yeah, earlier I have worked on Pivotal Cloud Foundry. Right? Pivotal Cloud Foundry. Solve some costs.
Okay, okay. In migration itself, Kubernetes, I have not seen anything. For Kubernetes migration, they have another thing like Anthos. So it is like very new to the market. I think it's been introduced 2 years or 1.5 years. So I mean during the course, if I get anything on my project or anything on this Anthos, then I can surely share that also. Let's say if
Yeah,
you
how
want to.
opportunities we have to learn GCP administration? Opportunities point of view compared to Azure administration and our AWS administration.
Uh, See, what I have seen is like, I'm talking about administration profile. Okay. So are you
Yeah.
like Windows or Linux administration or?
Purely, WebSphere administration.
Okay, okay. So administration profile I have seen, but it's not like very huge. But what we can expect is like, see, what I'll tell you what will be the role of administration during migration. Okay, so you will be either part of the service partner or the customer, right, as an administrator, because their infra will be handled by either customer itself or you can handle by either these three. So once the migration is done, what they will do is like they will do a, let's say, system health checks and all based on GCP, whether the application system is fine, whether all the DNS things are run, whether the application is doing fine. And once after that, that will be a period of 2 weeks only. Okay. So in 2 weeks, if you have an issue, then you can contact the migration team. Okay. And after 2 weeks, if you are facing an issue, then either you need to resolve yourself, or if you have any support plan with GCP, okay, then you can create a ticket with GCP, then you can solve that. So that's how it is working. So administration, that's what I said. Like it start with the end of migration cycle. You will not get
Okay.
the full thing, like these many machines are deployed in GCP and you need to administrator. So it start with end of the migration. Once the system is handed over to you, then from that point itself you need to do the kind of administration.
Okay.
Any other questions? May I know, like which background you people are coming from? Can you type in the chat?
See,
Yeah.
I have worked on WebSphere administrator, and
Okay, okay,
um, in my previous company, I worked on Pivotal Cloud Foundry administrator,
okay, okay,
PCF. That is called PCF.
okay, okay, okay.
Currently, I'm working on VMware and CloudScape. CloudScape tool, like what you said, it will fetch all the data from the
Okay, kind of discovery
on-premises.
you're telling. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, okay.
kind of.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
It will fetch the data, give the data to the customers. Customers will decide whether we can do the
whether they need to
migrate to the cloud.
migration or not. Okay, okay, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. So that discovery tool also, means, I mean, I have seen like it is changing from time to time. Like in my first project, we have used BMC. So this is like an agent we will install in customer machine. I mean, not one of the
BMC.
customer environment. Yeah, BMC tool. BMC Discovery is the tool
Ticketing.
name. Yeah, BMC
Okay,
Discovery is
BMC
the tool name. Yeah, yeah. So that we will install the customer environment, and based on IP address and all, if you give some IP range, right, like some 192 or
Yeah, I
something,
can
it will
imagine.
yeah. So we do install. But in my second project, they have used I think device 42.
Hmm.
Okay. So and in third project, there is something called as Stratozone. So Stratozone is Stratozone. If you check here, it is a Google specific tool. So Google only introduced so that customer. Stratozone. Yeah, Stratozone is
No,
this one.
how
So
opportunity,
it.
how opportunity.
Hello.
Hello. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
I'm talking about the opportunities, point of opportunities. How if we learn migration, GCP migration, how it will be. We will get the more calls.
The calls will be there because cloud is a very emerging, right? So I'll tell you honestly, like if you take in any migration team, right? Like if what I have seen in any migration team, there will be three categories. Like one team will be handling AWS, and the second team will be having Azure, and one will be having GCP. What I have seen is like in AWS, there are many people are outside. Like the demand is many more. Like what I'm seeing is like let's say there is a requirement for 10 people tomorrow. You will get 20 30 resumes, and Azure
Yeah.
also same. But GCP, it's very difficult. In like my last company, there was only for GCP profile, they have increased the referral bonus. I mean, like, for
Okay.
Azure and because people are very less for GCP. The
Oh,
Azure and AWS we can find many people, but for the GCP it's very less.
okay. Okay. Thank you. Is this weekend classes you will provide or weekday classes trainings?
That are not yet decided. That's up to up to the people that I need to discuss.
Okay.
Yeah. Hi Arjun, this is Krishna.
Yeah, hi Krishna.
So how many days the duration will be of the course and everything?
We can expect around 30 days, but it might extend. See, what I'm planning is like if you go through this quick lab, right? There are many lab scenarios, which is
Okay,
not possible to do everything in my class because otherwise there will be no time. So let's say if today if we go introduce about the compute engine, then we can try the lab today. And there are many things like compute engine, stack driver. It is like monitoring, everything is there. And other thing is like you need to subscribe this before 20. That I need to check before 20 to 27. That
okay,
after that only you are able to get this monthly subscription.
okay. So and apart from that, what is the logic? I mean, if we have to write any logics in GCP, what is the language that is been used as the BigQueries or Python or Java? What is the logic that means language that is been used in this?
No, GCP will take any modern language like Node.js, Python, and everything. BigQuery is more like your data warehouse, data warehouse machine. Let's say
Okay,
in on-premise you are having some data warehouse like relational database or data warehouse kind of data, and you need to transfer into GCP. Then you can transfer into BigQuery, and it is more like storage plus you can query also. Plus it is more like SQL, like it will work like select star with some modification. Select star from
so
EMP, so we can.
you will be covering this part too in your course or how it?
Like for if you want like certification point of view, then I can cover BigQuery, but I am not very familiar with the BigQuery concepts.
Okay. Actually, I have a scenario means where I'm working for SAP HANA. We are
Okay,
actually integrating the system from SAP HANA to GCP as of now. So whatever the
okay,
logic
okay.
that is being built in SAP HANA, we are just trying to implement that one in GCP. So I think they have been for extracting. They have been using for is BigQueries and for data extraction they have been using BigQueries. Logic they have been using for Python. So do
Okay,
we
okay.
require
So
all
like
this for HANA?
HANA,
So
no,
my
no. So
question is,
for
do
that,
we?
are you using SLT or not?
Sorry.
No, no. Are you using SLT? There is something like SLT, right, for landscape transformation or something?
Yeah, SLT is something like just like an on-flight data transfer, but that is
Yeah,
not the
yeah.
case. We are using data retrieving from HANA tables. Okay.
Okay, okay. Okay, because
So
I
do we require
also am.
all these languages?
No, not all languages are required. Any one will be working fine, right? Not everything is required. I think
Okay.
if you search in BigQuery, you will be able to find some Python modules also. Because I also worked in SAP for some 3 to 4 years, and after
Okay.
SAP, I switched to GCP. My last role was I working as an S4 HANA support.
Okay, for which module? Means for which one?
Basis.
Okay, you're into basis. So that's the reason you have been. Means this one is completely related to engines and stuff. That is a reason, right?
No, come again.
No. Now whatever you are explaining in the GCP point, that is completely related to the basis point of view, right? All these engines and servers are right.
Yeah. Engines and servers are more like infra, I can say, infrastructure. Like,
Okay. So is there any mentioned? How about application point of view? If data warehousing, data extractions, and LSA architecture means layers of architecture, that part you will be explaining in this one.
no, data point of view, I'm not that much familiar.
Mhm. Okay. Thank you, Arjun. I was just checking that part.
Yeah, you are from like data, big data background or like SAP data warehouse.
No, I am from SAP background itself. I am from SAP
Which
BW
module?
and SAP
Okay.
BW and HANA. Okay, so
Okay.
what the
Database.
client require? Yep. Now what I got the project is that we need to means merge the means migrate the data, whatever the logic that are been built in HANA as well as with BW. That logic we are migrating to cloud platform. Okay.
Okay. So you are migrating to BigQuery, right? Or Bigtable?
Yeah, big table.
Bigtable, yeah. Because that is columnar database, right? So that's why I'm a bit confused.
Um, I'm not much familiar with that, but we have just started it, but not sure how it is going on. But just want to learn that part. So that's the reason I was just asking for the GCP, means complete courses.
Okay.
Okay. So you will be covering only the points related to this one. Means you mean to say basis point of view. What are the servers are there? What is the connectivities? And authorization point of view. These are the points that are you're going to cover, right?
Yeah, plus the infrastructure migration also we can cover. Plus monitoring.
Okay.
Like there are
So
there are two migration. Okay, so one is like let's say in any company will be having two migration, two types of data. Right? One is like they are having data in the VMs, and plus the data which you set. Let's say like I said, in one of my projects we have two parts of data. One is VM migration we did, and another one is data migration. Okay, so VM migration, GCP has a specific tool. So we installed that tool and we did the migration. But when it comes to data migration, there is a specific data migration tool known as IBM Aspera. Okay, so it is more like async kind of thing. So we did that using that one.
okay, data migration in the sense you are just copying the data or the logic that we are building it and migrating it, right?
No, for copying the data, but before that, we need to install that particular Aspera server on GCP and on-premise also. We can do other thing also, like let's say if your data is more than at 10 petabytes or something, then we can ask Google to get the something known as transfer appliance. So it is like your physical box. If you search here, you can find transfer appliance GCP. So if you search here, so it is like your physical box. No, if you request Google, then they will come and they will come to your data center, and they will plug it, and once all the data has been transferred, then they will take it back to the Google Cloud, and they will. So this is the time. So, so this is the time for transferring. Like for 100
Okay.
Mbps for having 1 GB link, it will take these many. So there are many tools available. So based on that, the scenario will change.
Okay.
And the thing is like tool will also change from time to time. Like in my first migration project, I have used Cloud Endor for migration for to GCP. Okay, and after that, when I switched to a new company, I got to know that this Cloud Endor has been acquired by AWS, and they are no longer supporting GCP. So GCP, bought a new tool known as Velostrata, and with that tool only, GCP is using migration now. So this tool thing, it will change from time to time, but at present, Cloud Endor is supporting only AWS, and Velostrata is supporting only Velostrata, and they have actually renamed it. They are renamed for migrate for compute. So this tool they are using GCP.
This is for migrating, right?
Yeah, migration.
Arjun, and one more thing, you will cover the in your training upgrades as well, right? GCP patchings.
Patching, I have like I
Let's say,
can show you
let's say,
what is a patching is. Yeah, operating system patching you're telling, right? I can. Yeah.
let's say
So
today
for patching,
GCP.
there is a scenario. 1 second. One moment. OS patching something that should be there. Okay, VM migration. Yeah, you're asking about OS patching, right?
No. GCP patching. Suppose today GCP is having 1.2.1 version.
No,
Tomorrow
that no need to
GCP.
that not no that will not happen. See, the thing is like this portal. Okay, I have registered it 3 years before.
Okay,
Okay, customer environment it is the same. I make you understand. Now you're asking like okay, you're asking like okay, today there are one new services, and let's say after 2 months another three services has been introduced. So how will you get it into your Google Cloud, right?
correct. How you'll upgrade that services into Global Cloud? See, some of few of the clients
No,
will not
mm,
allow to upgrade that services. Some of the clients will allow that. They requested us to
no.
upgrade that patches.
Like if you're asking about the patch, if you're asking about the Google Cloud services, then it will get updated automatically. That's what my understanding. Let's say,
Let's say let clearly you understand. See, you just take an example. Today, uh, Windows will have the many operating system versions, right? Like 2003, 2008, 2012.
mm,
Okay.
yeah.
See, I want to. If you take an example, if I'm a client, I want to upgrade my uh, Windows 2003 to 2016. Do the upgrades from Windows point. Same way in the GCP as well. If currently if you're using GCP 1.2 version, tomorrow GCP will release the newer version. Uh, that newer version will upgrade the in our environment, like a fixed price,
See, there is
right?
no version specific to GCP. I'll tell. Yeah,
Mhm.
I'll tell you an example. No, see, this account I started 3 years before. Okay, this thing like Vertex AI, which has been recently introduced. I didn't do anything. Automatically, it will be updated in your let's say this GCP console, and you can find all the latest thing. Like if you check the status, cloud status, you can see what are the services which they are currently facing issue, like in global level. So there is nothing like in AWS also. I'm sure like there is nothing like AWS 1.0, 2.0, 3.0. There is nothing like that. If they are introducing like tomorrow if they are introducing new services into GCP, then it will automatically will integrate into your Google Cloud account. Only thing you need to check is whether you are having whether you're able to get the services with your correct billing and configuration. If no, then you need to do the configuration. Configuration in the sense, APIs. For example, I can show you this one. Slow.
I think your network is
Okay. Yeah, I think network is slow. So no need to do
yeah.
anything. Okay. So
So,
what I was trying to show is like there is a new service known as Vertex AI, which Vertex AI, which has been introduced to the GCP, and your customer is some artificial machine learning based customer, and they want to make use of the services. So that this particular thing, right, Vertex AI, which automatically will be in your GCP console. To make it active, you might be need to enable this API, enable Vertex API, and after that you will be able to use it.
okay. Hello.
Yeah,
Thank you, Arjun.
yeah, yeah. Okay. Sorry, I didn't see the question. Any scripting knowledge required? No, for migration there is no scripting knowledge is required, but for DevOps, yeah, I think in general if you're going for DevOps profile. In migration, let's say you need to have a knowledge on basic, not basic, I mean a good knowledge about GCP services, and as I said, like what we can expect from the customer, what the customer will be expecting from you. So this point, and what are the different types of migrations. Migration is also having two three types, like let's say if one application is you're just migrating the application as it is to Google Cloud, it will be called a lift and shift. And if you are migrating upgrading and migrating, that it will be called a rehost. And if you are not able to migrate particular application, then it should be called a retire. So these things need to be, you need to have knowledge on that.
Arjun, how can I contact you if I'm interested to join in in your training?
You can contact Vishwan Patna. Yeah, you can
Okay.
contact them. And they will get back to you.
Okay. Okay. Thanks.
Yeah,
Thank you. I'm dropping off. I'm in the call.
yeah, sure. Okay, okay.
Arjun, can you share the context details, index, and course
Sorry.
content detail?
Yeah,
Can
yeah,
you
sure.
share the course content detail?
I mean, right, in screen share or
Anything is fine. Word document or screen sharing is fine.
yeah, I have shared to visual part. I will ask them to share again.
Okay.
Okay, I will ask them to share again. If no questions, then are you good to close? Okay, then thanks for joining.